Okay, welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Voss. I'm an alcoholic. You are on the Vossaholic channel. So, this is probably the third or fourth part, and I'm trying to land the plane here. I've been using the iPad and the iPhone. I've been learning how to make a podcast and how to download, how long it takes, what stuff really means. Been just trying to figure it out. I just erased over 100 Giphies and whatever else stickers that I've sent out as texts to be humorous. So I've cleaned out my phone, which is great. When our house is in order, more will be revealed. Where we're at now is we're in the 12 and 12, finishing the last paragraph on step 1, page 24. And we're sort of deep diving into basically powerlessness and unmanageability, where our lives had become powerless and unmanageable. And this is for because of COVID, to make sure that you know the message is carried, and this format is private. So I ask you to not share it in confidentiality. I probably have spoken with you, sat with you, discussed things, know you as a good friend, trustworthy person, and you've earned my trust to be directed to subscribe to this channel. And from after the first three, it's all private. So please don't share the link with someone else, and please do the work. Moving right along here, if you have your notebook and any words that jump out, like John Barleycorn, I swear I'm going to use that name on Zoom. All right, last paragraph. Why all the why all this insistence that every AA must hit bottom first? The answer is that few people will sincerely try to practice the AA program until they have hit bottom. For practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoption of attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. So I'm going to split up just these few first sentences, like, why the insistence? Why are you persisting to say I have to hit bottom before I really work this program? Well, you know, uh, I mean, how far down the elevator do you want to go? Do you want to lose an eyeball and be a pirate? Do you want to, have diabetes and have your leg cut off at the knee and have a wooden leg, a peg leg? And it's for real, folks. It's so for real, especially the younger crew that do the harder drugs like heroin. And two young people I know. I don't want to have these stories, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know this. But one girl I met probably 3 years ago, she straight up had fallen asleep in like a heroin induced coma. You know how they nod off and they're out for 11 hours. And she had fallen back on her knee. Like, she laid back, and it was as if she had her foot, her ankle was kind of hitting the top of the back of her thigh. Her leg was bent. She fell asleep, and it cut off the circulation. And so she had, uh, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, the limb was purple and dead and had gangrene and blood clots. And if they didn't cut it off, it was going to spread up through the rest of her leg. So instead of losing the whole leg, like above the knee at the thigh or the hip even, they cut it off at the knee, and this poor girl, I was trying to encourage her to reach out to women, and she just wasn't done yet even. I mean, what do you need to be like, have both of them gone? And then another person that I sponsored, a guy that I saw the other night, he was so happy that he didn't have to try and walk on his legs anymore. And I laugh because it's sort of like it's the easy way, and it makes sense. The guy had a surgery and um, he had his legs cut off at the knee on both sides, and the prosthetic joints were going to make him 6'4", and they're going to be like the curvy bent prong forward bent ones that you can run on. And he used to be like a cross country runner So he's going to now go from like 5'11" or 10 to 6'4", and he can run again. So that's awesome, right? But the Huron, it's horrible. So I'm trying to complete this. We're at the 5 minute mark. I'm shooting for 15, under 15 or less. So uh, for practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoption of attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. Attitudes and actions. So yeah, attitude of gratitude. If you are like a person who's desperate as the dying, like you're at the brink of drowning and you get that life preserver, you're going to swim really hard to shore with that thing because you have a possibility to live. Who wishes to be rigorously honest and tolerant? Yeah, I'm glad we hit this. Rigorously honest. You can be slightly honest, you can tell white lies. And tolerant. So, who are you tolerant of? Everybody, people, places, and things that piss you off when you don't have alcohol in your system and you're sort of a moody, dry drunk? That's a strong word. Tolerant. Who wants to confess his faults to another and make restitution for harm done? Who cares anything about a higher power, let alone meditation and prayer? So I get the author. I've written some things. The guys, whoever wrote this is Bill, maybe, collectively. They're planting the seed for like step 11. And in the original steps, there are only 6. So they